Joe Carter here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you been, Joe?
Rich, my buddy, it's been forever.
Too long.
How are you doing?
Way
Yes.
too long. Way too long.
You know, I still got that tape of you and my man, Stu Scott, for my retirement party back in 1999. You guys were so gracious to send that video wishing me a happy retirement. And I really appreciate it. But now you're my man. How's everything going?
Well, Joe, I'm just going to go full disclosure here on you. First of all, I did it because you were so great as a ball player and a great human being. But I'm also, full disclosure, a diehard Yankee fan. I couldn't wait for you to retire. You wore me out, brother.
No.
You wore me out.
No.
You and Wamco and Cito Gaston and Dave Stewart coming over and just. Pulling down the brim of his cap, and you were wearing me out. I'd had enough of you, Joe.
Yeah, was Stu, was he? I mean, if you ever had to face Stu, I mean, the first time I faced him,
yep.
We were in Oakland, and I get in the box, and I take a look at him, I get ready, and then I call timeout. And I asked Terry Steinbach, I said, can he see? Because he had that hat all the way down. I mean, he looked menacing.
Yeah,
I was like, I just want to make sure.
Joe, my son's a Little League pitcher right now, and sometimes the bill of his cap is too flat. I take it, and I put the brim, and I curve the hell out of it, and I'm like, take that hat and pull it down and look in, because, I try to show him videos of Dave Stewart. I'm like, I don't know how intimidating a 12-year-old can be, but I'm trying, man. I'm trying every trick of the trade.
You know what? Well, these 12-year-olds, I mean, they see all the players wearing, and they see all the flat bill, and I hate the flat bill. The straight across. Right. I said, no, pull it down. Right. I want a curve in there, baby.
I love it. Joe Carter here on the Rich Eisen Show. Joe, where is the baseball you hit off of Mitch Williams? We were wondering that. Where is that baseball right now?
I do have the baseball.
Uh-huh.
It is
nice.
It is very safe.
Okay.
And secure.
Okay.
Something that happens. Those are momentous occasions, and I knew I was going to hit one, so I told myself, "Don't hit it into the stands. You'll never get it back." So I took a pitching wedge, my 135 club.
Yes.
The back of the wall was 135. So I kept it low. It hits the back of the wall. Get the spin, and it goes back to our bullpen catcher, John Sullivan. And after the game, he comes in, and he gives it to me. Now, here's the thing. The Hall of Fame was there, and they ran to him after the game. He goes, John, where's the ball? Where's the ball? He goes, I don't know. I don't know what happened to the ball. And he gave the ball to me. So I'm in possession of it.
Yeah, that's the only walk-off home run in the history of the World Series by somebody who was trailing at the time. I mean, Mazeroski hit his in a tie game. You were down by 2. That was a 3-run jack. And when that ball was leaving the yard, Joe, what was going through your head as the ball's leaving the yard?
First of all, I hit it. I knew I hit it hard enough. I didn't know if I hit high enough because I lost it in the lights. It was a line drive. And as I was jumping up halfway down the first base line looking to see if it was going to get over the fence, that was all I was thinking about was get up, get up, get up. And once I saw it get up and once I saw Petey Caviglia kind of stop, turn his back, and I'm jumping up and down, and the first thing I thought of was, Joe, stop jumping and touch all the bases. Make sure you touch them all. Yes. That's exactly what I thought, and that's exactly what Tom Cheek said.
Yep. Touch them all, because you'll never hit a bigger home run in your life. I mean, what a call that was, and it was spot on for that. And what a team you guys had. I mean, the fact that Paul Molitor was the one who got on as the tying run, bringing you as the winning run to the plate. We all remember Devin White, Roberto Alomar. I can go down the list because it was called Wamco. Molitor was the M, you were the C, Olerud was the O, and then I don't know where you'd fit Rickey Henderson, and he came in a trade prior to that season. You already won a World Series, right? So,
we just put a hyphenation. We put a hyphenation right there. So you had H Wamco. So
right, I mean, and so
H-hyphen Wamco.
You got to give me, what's your favorite Rickey Henderson story, Joe? You got one?
Oh man, you know what? There's so many of them, but the best one was when he was with Oakland, and in 1990, Kirby had just signed the first $9 million contract. He signed a 3-year deal for $9 million.
Puckett, you're talking about, right? Kirby Puckett?
Puckett, yeah, Kirby Puckett.
Uh-huh.
And then Rickey signed right after that for the same amount, 3 years at $9 million. And I was just traded to San Diego, so I did one up. They gave me $100,000 more. And so Rickey, he got the signing bonus of $1 million. Okay? So now, the end of the year, the A's are going through their books and ledgers, and something's not adding up. You know, they've got an extra $1 million in their account. And they'll go back and they look, and they go, oh, come on, really? So they call Rickey. They said, Rickey, where's the check we gave you for your bonus back in January? And he had put it encased in glass and hung it on the wall.
Unbelievable. He framed a $1 million check.
They said, Rickey, take a picture of it. Go put the check in the bank and take a picture and put the picture of it on the wall.
That's right. Do we know if he ever cashed it? Do we know if he ever cashed it?
No, he did cash it, but he lost about $35,000 that year. That's when banks did pay interest when you had money in the bank.
Unbelievable. Now, you may not know the answer to this, but I heard that when Rickey wound up on the Mets and Olerud was his teammate again, he told Olerud, hey, man, I used to play with somebody who also wore a helmet in the field as well. And Olerud had to tell him, yeah, that was me, Rickey. Is that true?
That is true.
It is true?
That is true. That is true. The other one is when Rickey left us and went back to the A's. The A's had come to town, and they had, my billboard all over town showing the home run. And so going to the ballpark, and so all the A's were talking about it. They was like, oh, where were you at when this happened? Where were you at when Joe hit that home run? Where were you at? And everybody went down the back of the bus telling them where they were at, what they were doing. And then Rickey goes, I was on second base.
Hey, man, he was. And if I'm not mistaken, him being on base is what made Mitch Williams slide step for the first time in his career. And he even was slide stepping and threw that pitch to you that you hit out of the park. Is that true, too?
Yeah, no, that's true, because I was looking for a breaking ball because he threw me a pretty good breaking ball that pitched before, and I lost it, and I still swung at it. So I'm looking breaking ball, but because he did the slide step, he threw it down and in. He came down and in. And, Rich, my happy zone is down and in.
Yep.
And like I say, I just went down and got it. But, see, we go back a step further. When Molitor got the base hit, I was very upset because Rickey, he's supposed to be one of the fastest guys in all of baseball, the stolen base king, and he can't go from first to third on a base hit. That's ridiculous.
Right.
So I got on him. I said, he's supposed to be on third base so I can get at least tie the game up.
Right. Instead, you just went over the wall, and the rest is history. And interestingly enough, it was the the only other, I guess, the previous championship out of Toronto until Kawhi and the Raptors delivered one for the NBA fans up there. And, it's unbelievable. I love these stories. Joe Carter here on the Rich Eisen Show. Again, I know you're out there in this golf tournament. Did you see what happened with Max Scherzer and his pitching hand and the stickiness and all that stuff?
No, I did not. No, I played in the Pro-Am yesterday.
Got it.
And then we went down and went fishing. Caught some big old crappie last night and got back. And so, no, I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, he got the gate. He had some stickiness on his hands, and they sent him out. And, it's a whole long story. But, it's kind of crazy sometimes in baseball. You haven't seen this in a while. It's somebody getting ejected for sticky substances and things of that nature. But, he said it was just rosin and sweat. I'm just throwing it out there in case you'd seen it, Joe. I'm just throwing it out there. So what's your general sense of the way the game is played today then, Joe? Let me just throw that one in your direction.
Totally different. They've made the game a little bit more interesting for the young kids because they've sped it up with all the new rule changes. Guys who played back in my day, Juan Guzman, right now, if he was pitching right now, we'd still be in the first inning because he would have given up. He would have had about about 12 walks because he would take so long. But they're trying to make the game interesting. But this analytics, it just behooves me. It's great for golf as far as launch angle.
Yes.
But, man, I have never seen so many hitters hitting around the Mendoza line, and driving in, hitting 25, 30 home runs with 70 RBIs. I'm like, come on, really? Because of the way they're teaching the launch angle and everything, they're either striking out or popping up, with guys on base. And for me, it's totally it is so different than the way that we were taught. But, it's baseball. The owners, if they're paying $15 million a year for guys to hit 200 and, with those launch angles, then more power to the players. They're doing what management wants them to do because of the analytics.
Yeah, I mean, I understand they have a role and whatnot. It sometimes just drives me a little crazy when you see pitchers, get taken out because it's the third time through the order and things of that nature. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if we'll see a 300 win pitcher anymore. I don't know how many complete games we're going to be seeing too much of anymore. It's just a different game. But also back in the day when you were playing, not everyone who came out of the pen threw 100. No,
that is true. And now they're teaching these kids, and what it is, it's a combination of all these young kids because they were been on pitch counts since they were in Little League, and so they're only going there. When you're in Little League, you're playing, you can throw 25, 30 pitches, okay, and then you got to rest like 2 or 3 days, and you can throw 30 more. And so that's the way they did not build up their stamina. And so now you get to the big leagues where 5 innings is now a quality start. And so if everything is conducive to going 5 innings, and now they say, hey, you give us 5 innings and go out there and just throw lights out for 5 innings, and in the back end of the bullpen, we're going to bring in 3 guys going 100 miles an hour, and that's the way it's going to work. So that's what's slowing the game down because, I would love to have, guys like Nolan and Randy Johnson. The third time through the order, they go, well, we can't face these guys anymore. Let's take them out. That would have been great.
I don't know. The manager might have gotten noogies from Nolan Ryan if you'd attempted that. I mean, they might have treated the manager like Robin Ventura, that might have happened.
Yeah, no, you're like, hey, you better get back in that dugout. I'm not coming out. You kidding me?
I hear you.
I mean, work the sweat up for 5 innings.
And then you want to talk about different times, Joe. You were mentioning how Rickey Henderson had set a standard with a $9 million, 3-year, $9 million contract. Ohtani's going to get a $600 million contract. I mean, that's going to happen. 100%.
Well, name me one guy who can go out there and win you almost 20 ball games and hit you 30 home runs and steal about 20 bases and go all those runs. I mean, Ohtani, I'm in awe. He is a freak of an athlete, and I absolutely love it because he's a ball player. He's just not a pitcher. Pitchers are non-athletes. No, Ohtani is not a non-athlete. He is an athlete.
Well, I agree with you. I don't know about the pitcher being a non-athlete. I need to make sure that Smoltz does call back into my program. But Ohtani, what he's doing is remarkable, and he keeps getting better, and he's a star. He and Trout at the end of the World Baseball Classic was one of the best confrontations I've seen in years. That was incredible.
Made for TV, made for baseball.
It sure was. So, Joe, before I let you go on your day, I imagine as you're getting ready to play in the second annual Invited Celebrity Classic here, you just called pitchers non-athletes. I'm assuming Smoltz isn't around right now. I'm assuming Maddox isn't within the sound of your voice right now because those are the guys, or Mulder, right? These are the guys who normally win these things, Joe. I'll be very honest.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking. I mean, they play golf, but we're talking about on the baseball field. I mean, have you seen the clip where Smoltz tries to get that ball down the first base line and that's out there on YouTube and everything, and he's stumbling, hat coming off, and so I rest my case with that.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, just look up John Smoltz, and you'll see that play, and you say, yeah, okay.
Plus, if you had
the baseball field,
let me cape for you, Joe. Plus, if you had gotten 4 days off in between your 1 day to play baseball to work on your golf game, you'd probably be way better than you are today. Right, Joe?
Yeah, no, exactly. Right. I mean, it's mostly, I give him credit, man, out here on the golf course. And when he qualified for the one event on the senior tour, he's a player out here, because, you just have to hit the ball and go get it and hit it again. But he hits it. He don't hit it very often, which is good in golf.
Mm-hmm. So how's your game? How's your game? How's your game?
The game is going good.
Okay.
The game is going good. I'm down to my index is a 1.7.
Oh.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Touch them all, Joe. Touch them all.
Yeah. We had the event with the LPGA that Hilton Grand Vacations put on. I finished 15th out of the 55 celebrities, so that was the highest I finished. And I just saw my odds. My odds have been going up. I'm now 50-1. So, Rich, I'm moving up the ladder.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
We're looking for the dark horse. The dark horse in this race is me.
Okay. I like it. And so, do you know the furthest you've ever hit a baseball? Did you know?
Baseball?
Yeah. Do you know the distance of one of your tape measure home runs? Do you know?
488.
488. Where was that one?
In the Sky Dome.
Oh.
We played the A's, and that was the same series McGuire hit one in the fifth deck. And I believe it was John Wasden. And he had struck me out the time before on the pitch down and in that I took. And Mark Williams, the umpire, I looked at him. I said, Mark, that is not a strike. I said, it's down and in. It's not a strike. It's too low. He said, yes, it was. So I go back. My next at bat, he comes back with the same pitch, and I hit it in the fifth deck. And when I touch home plate, Mark Johnson, the umpire, says, see, I told you it was a strike.
I love that. So you've hit a baseball 162 yards. How's the longest you've hit a drive then, Joe? What's the longest drive you've had?
Longest I've hit a drive is about 401.
Now, were you in Colorado, or no offense?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sea level.
You get a little wind behind you. No, I could always move the ball.
Okay.
Now I'm 63 years old right now. So,
gosh, Joe.
My carry just on an average day is probably I carry the ball about 285, and it rolls out. It could roll out to over 300, but. It's not about. I've learned and matured that it's not about how far you hit it. So as long as you put yourself in position for your second shot. So my game is like hit the fairway, hit the green, and then rely on your short game, your putting.
Well, I'll be tuned into the Golf Channel to see you compete this weekend. And this has been way, way too long. Let's do this more often, Joe. I would really love that.
Rich, I would love to. You've been one of my favorites all the time. I listen to your show. I see you on TV, and I'm like, hey, there's my buddy Rich. So it's much appreciated, much love to you.
I appreciate that too. I've just taken down the phone number here, and you look for my text. I'll hit you later.
Okay, sounds good, Rich.
Take
all
care.
Right, appreciate it, brother.
You got it. It's Joe Carter, everybody, one of the all-time greats, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.